Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's Ben here with Systems Over Symptoms. I was at work, and I've been thinking about something. I said to myself, hey, these machines here at work, they run great. There's a system, there's a process. They run great. They can make the same case after case after case without making mistakes. Look at this machine in here. You can see that spindle spinning, water spraying out. But what I'm getting at is they have a process, and they make great case after case after case. They don't mess up. And I'm sitting here, and I'm like, man, it literally is replicating, one part after another without messing up in between. I'm like, that's so efficient. Like, just look at some of the cases we made, These cases, we've made all these. And it just makes one after the other. And then I started to think about this. And I said, you know what? I do have a system like that. My system is called Systems Over Symptoms. And it's a system for diabetics. It's a system for diabetics who are scared, lost, and are looking for help and don't know where to find it. So, my system, what it does is, it starts with the basics. Because all good systems have a baseline, a basic. And my system starts out, module 1, and this is the start here section. And it basically tells you what my story was. And you guys have probably heard that a ton of times, don't want to hear it again. And I won't go through it again, If you want to see my story again, and all my numbers and stuff, you can always go to www.dropinsulin.com. But, I'm thinking about it, and my story is my story is module 1. And then module 2 is about the CGM, the continuous glucose monitor. And I would say that's the biggest tool that I've used that has been the most help. People are continuously asking me, what's the one thing, if you had to do this all over again, that you would not be able to give up? And it's hard, because I think the two most valuable things, I'll just give you the three. The three top-notch things in my system were cutting carbs. Diet is one of the most important things. That's definitely something I can't say I could give up and still have these results. If I didn't do the diet, even with everything else, I don't think I would have had the same results. The second thing is the continuous glucose monitor. Without that, first of all, that triggered an accountability in me that I have never known. Literally for years, I've watched my numbers float around, and I just kept moving. Since the moment I put that sensor in my arm, I was glued to my phone. The first 6 weeks, I had over 300 screenshots of my sugar. In the beginning, it's because my sugar was bad. But after 3-4 days, when my sugar started getting better, then I was taking screenshots to send to people. Oh my God, look. And you know how people are. Oh yeah, you're doing good right now, but let's see how it is in a month. Keep it up. Let's see if you can keep it up. Well, it's been almost 2 months. And guess what? I haven't only kept it up, I've been doing better. So that second thing that I would have to have would be the continuous glucose monitor. Easily. And here's the great thing. A lot of people don't realize this. You can go into a pharmacy, no prescription, and buy yourself a continuous glucose monitor. I believe it's going to run you $40, $50 for the month. And I know it sounds like a lot, but you figure $50 a month is $2 a day. And that gives you the capability to have your eye on your number literally 24 hours a day. If that isn't worth $2 a day, I really don't know what else is. And the last thing that really helped me was, the medicine, the Mounjaro. I started the Mounjaro shot, and literally after I started that, my sugar was at like rock solid levels, honestly. I think it was the day after, 2 days after, my sugar went from being 350 to 130, 160, 170. And it didn't leave like 130 to 180, 190 tops for the next 2 days. It didn't go above there. And it was crazy. I went and saw my doctor 3 days after starting the Mounjaro and the diet. And my doctor looked at me and was like, I told her, I was like, I'll be honest, my literal numbers have been like 120, 130. I showed her my sensor. I said, I haven't been taking, I asked her what to do about my insulin, and she said, get rid of it. After 3 days, she told me not to take the insulin anymore, and it's now been 8 months, no insulin, and my sugar's doing great. My, 30-day GMI which is like kind of like an A1C, but it's not the same. But it's a good estimate, and right now it's 6.0. 7 weeks ago, I was at 13. And my daily sugars are between 99 and 125. Every day for the last week, that's what my daily average is. None of those are a bad number for someone who was 6 weeks ago considered a, considered a out of control diabetic. Diabetes mellitus was my diagnosis. So that's the big thing I wanna get across to everybody. I'm just a regular machinist that came up with the system. I'm sorry, there's one more part of the system we do want to talk about, and that part of the system is what is it? Oh, the exercise. You're gonna have to get up and start moving. Literally, there were days when my sugar would spike for no reason. I found out later it was stress. But the first thing I would do to get my sugar down if it spiked was grab a bottle of water and go out walking. That was my answer to my sugar spiking every single time. And it always, after 10, 15, 20 minutes, it brought it back down to a respectable level, down 20 points, down 30 points. So, what I was saying was, me, I've been a CNC machinist for, last however many years, made hundreds of parts. I've followed processes, I've followed everything, followed rules, and by following those, I was able to design a process that really put my diabetes into remission. I use that word because everybody gets uptight about what you call it, so I'm not going to call it anything that could start no arguments. But you look at my numbers now, and you can, like I said, if you go to www.dropinsulin.com, it shows you my journey, the curriculum of the school course I've created, 10 modules, over like 50 lessons, probably over 48 video lessons, 40 videos from my buddy Lance. He's my little mascot that explains the modules and everything. I would say 50 some written lessons, and probably I'd say 25 to 30 PDFs. So that's all available in the school. So, at the very least, go there to the website, and when you go to the home page on the website, there's 3 links. One is to join the school. It's free to join, no credit card needed. The second link is for the free PDF, and that's how to start getting your numbers under control right now. That is free. It tells you what you can do right this minute to start changing your numbers. And the last one is, a free 15-minute, discovery call. I can answer your questions about the course and about your numbers and stuff. And as always, I'll preface this by saying this is not medical advice. I am not a doctor. I'm just someone who put a program together that saved my life, and I'm looking to do the same. Looking to do the same exact thing for you. So I will catch you guys later. Remember, always systems over symptoms, and our main motto is action over talk. You guys have a great day, and I will see you later.